Top 5 true weapons. Not gonna lie, this video is probably long overdue because I felt like I should have done this already, and to be honest, I actually believed I did. But today we're gonna be talking about the top 5 best true weapons you can summon, buy with rainbow gems, whatever the case may be. Now let me just say a disclaimer right here. If you have a unit that needs their true weapon to be OP, it's more than likely better for you to always get that first. Like for example, if you're using Juno and you watch this list and you don't see Juno's true weapon in here, it doesn't mean not to buy it. If the true weapon is something that character really needs, then you want to prioritize that more so than any of these true weapons. But these true weapons I'm going to be telling you, true weapons that are going to be able to be used on anybody that has correct equipment slot corresponding to it. And also, yes, I know this is a top 5, but there is a ton of great true weapons in the game for a bunch of different situations. But this is kind of a basis just to show you guys kind of what I personally feel like would be some of the best options for you to get right off the gate. And the first one I'm going to be putting at number 5 is going to be true Animus gear. Now, true Animus gear, this is Thetis' true weapon, and this is a must-have on him. But for other tanks in the game that are taunt tanks, you can also use it on them. It gives you a really strong defensive mitigation buff. I think it's 35% for 20 seconds. The cooldown on this baby isn't long either. I think it's like 35 or 30 seconds. It's very good, very OP, pretty much used in every piece of in-game content as well, just because the damage mitigation on it is so freaking high. But what about if you want something a little bit more team-oriented, you know what I mean? What happens if you want somebody to take care of everybody, not just one person? You know, it's welfare out here. I got you, because coming at the number 4 spot is going to be our girl Sandstone's true weapon. Sandstone's true weapon is also one of the best 5-star defense equips in the entire game. This is an AoE damage mitigation item, reduces everybody's damage that they take by 20%, and if they're below 50% HP, they get an extra 10%, so 30% damage mitigation. It's on a super low cooldown, max LB, it's 25 seconds. It also has physical resistance level 2, which reduces physical damage by 10%, so technically that's even more damage mitigation on top of it, and is a really good item. Also used in a lot of in-game situations, literally against Ganon, which is one of the most dreaded fights in the entire game. Sandstone's true weapon, and of course Sandstone herself, are vital to beat that fight, especially if it's your first time clearing and you want to get the 100% clear and you don't want to do any of the other gimmicky ways and you just want to do a Sandstone route with Thetis. Literally top tier.
But OP, I want to deal the deeps, man. I don't want to just be tanking damage. I want to deal the big boy damage.
I got you. True Exceed Zex. This is Dark Zeorg's true weapon, and my god is this thing good. Not only does this thing give you tons of damage because it has an arts damage buff tied to it, it also gives you art gauge, and this thing gives you tons of lifesteal, making some units unkillable. Example, Shuri. Shuri, of course, doesn't have any type of defense, but what Shuri does have is damage. She is a glass cannon, and this item gives her tons of sustain. Another really good unit to use this on is Berwick. Literally, if Berwick would ever be low on health, guess what? True exceeds Zex into its true art, you're getting healing. All because of this insane passive that it has. The lifesteal passive that says it only lifesteals for 3% damage you deal. Maybe like, oh, that's nothing. If you're out here hitting for 100k, 200k, 300k, you know, 1 million, whatever the case may be, you're gonna almost get full heal just based on this passive alone. I know I put True Exceeds Zex at number 3, and even though I'm doing a top 5, it's really not technically listed in that. These are just top 5 notable equips that I really find very good in the game. So I don't want to confuse you guys being like, oh, number 1 is just overall better than True Exceeds Zex. It's more so just 5 true weapons that I feel are very good. Before we move on to number 2 and number 1, I wanted to give an honorable mention to True Vulcans. Now, True Vulcans is a kind of a niche situation. A lot of people don't understand whenever I say this item is actually pretty okay, because they look at the effect and they don't understand it, like it just burns your entire team, and that's kind of bad, right? Really, you don't use it for its effect, you use it more so for its passive. It gives you a massive 35% skill CT reduction, which is really good against certain fights, aka aces. Put this on Berwick, he's gonna have a ton of skill CT once he's in Magia Drive. Put this on someone like Vox, he's gonna have tons of skill CT as well, or just anybody that really likes skill CT and they have a physical slot, this item can be put on there. If you guys consider subscribing yet, some of you guys may not be subscribed to this channel, and it only takes 2 seconds. You just gotta click that red button and boom, you subscribe. Of course, you can always unsubscribe whenever you want to, but why not just click subscribe, especially if you're interested in Grand Summoners at the current moment, because that way all my videos instantly go to your sub box. You can even turn on the notification bell if you're really that dedicated, instead of having to type in my name or type in Grand Summoners instantly on the search bar, because your boy OP is your one-stop shop for everything GS. And also, you can click that like button too if you want to. There is another 5-star magic item that I value a lot. As a person who nukes a lot in the game, a person who constantly uses Monodark, you know, Monodark EXE baby. I constantly use Monodark, and there's a certain item, there's 2 items specifically, but we're gonna be talking about the main one here that I really like, and I think it's pretty much usable on any type of nukings team as long as you have a 5-star magic slot, which is defense true weapon. Because this thing gives you a 30% increased damage taken to an enemy, which you may look at that and be like, is that really that great? And it is. In nuking situations, that is a multiplicative debuff, and guess what? That means multiplicative damage, meaning that you're gonna hit hard. People always ask me why I use rags, and it's because with these item setups, rags still hits like a beast, man. But this item I feel like can be used on literally anybody's nuking team as long as there's a 5-star magic slot. And then finally, coming in at our number 1 spot. This is an equip that is so busted and is so good on anybody that has this equipment slot, and that is none other than E-Mirror's true weapon, True Izanagi. And let me tell you, Izanagi is no lie one of the best, if not the best 5-star physical or possibly true weapon in the entire game. Reason why this thing has one of the highest arts per second in the game. It's on a 10-second cooldown, but it gives you 2 arts per second for 3 seconds, which you look at that and be like, oh, it's only 6 seconds. But whenever you factor in that this thing also gives you equipment CT down by 15%, that reduces even the 10 seconds to lower. I think it goes down to like 9 seconds or 8 seconds or something like that. And this has so much synergy with so many units. You have an Usurpa, put True Izanagi on it. You have a Thetis, put True Izanagi on it. You get those defense equips up faster. You have a Vox, guess what? Put True Izanagi on him. He's going to get more art gauge. He's going to be able to pop his support item slot faster, and he's going to be able to use his heal more often. You got a Finn, guess what? You don't want to use his actual true weapon, use True Izanagi on him. He's going to be loving you for it because he's going to be able to pop his support items even more, and he's going to be able to use his true arts even faster. There is so many units in this game that value this item, and literally a unit has a 5-star physical attack slot. Most of the time you just put True Izanagi there because it's so freaking good. It doesn't matter what the other slots are, usually that alone is good enough. Unless you're doing specific stuff like nuking, then of course you really won't get too much benefit out of True Izanagi because you probably want more damage buffing. But anything that is literally a regular attacker, Shuri, Vox, Swick, Sistina, E-Mirror herself, anybody that has a 5-star physical slot, this item is insane on it. It's actually what a lot of people have. A lot of people has bought this item multiple times from the true weapon equipment shop because it's just that freaking good. One of the best items in the entire game, and it's literally busted. There's no other way to put it. Item's ridiculous. But guys, that is my top 5 true weapons in the game. That is what I recommend that you guys kind of go for, kind of grind for, save up your rainbow gems for. And I know, like I said earlier, this top 5 really wasn't there, but I really want you to make sure that you know that True Izanagi is probably the best out of all of them and the safest option to pick if you're kind of worried or picking between multiple. But there you go. That's the end of the video. Thank you all for coming out again. It's been your bro P. Thank you all for all the support on the channel. We've been absolutely killing it recently, and I can't thank you guys enough for that. More videos on the way, man. More juicy memes, more all of that. More OP coming in the next few weeks. But thank you all for coming out again. It's been your bro P, and last but not least, man, don't forget to drink water.